they just enjoy being around other people and riding bikes. So
Yeah, it seems like that. Before we started mountain biking, the other hobby that we had was disc golf, and it was
oh
the
yeah,
same in that community. It was always this joke about nobody cares who wins. You just want to go outside and watch these frisbees fly through the air. Everybody's just like, oh, one happy family. Everybody come play disc golf. And we
that
found we found that when we started biking too. We found that to
yeah.
be the attitude of the community, which I thought was very cool.
I think if you guys have a chance sometime, I think Melissa would love to go disc golfing, like all of us as
Oh,
a
really?
group. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think that would be something she would really enjoy. Because I've been disc golfing before, but the more disc golfing I've done, the more I realize I'm just straight up terrible at it. And it's because it's like, you go out and throw a frisbee, you're like, oh, this isn't that hard. But like disc golf's actually pretty challenging. Like especially some
Yeah.
of the holes to actually get it in the little net, and everything is actually a
Yeah.
lot trickier than you think.
Yeah, we used to play a lot. We've each won money at playing
Hey,
disc golf.
there you
Yes,
go.
officially.
So you
Yeah.
can call yourself professional disc golf players.
Well, we did. Once you take money at a sanctioned tournament, you must register as a professional
Oh
disc
man,
golfer. So it's kind of a weird, like the way that's all set up is a
that's
little bit funny. But
I'm gonna have to change your title on the podcast now to professional disc golfer. So
oh, that sounds really good. Definitely do that. Yeah,
that's
we
awesome.
haven't played for a while, but this next month there's a tournament that started in Kansas City, an all women's tournament that
Uh-huh.
I was part of the like founding team when it got together,
Okay.
and it's usually is on Mother's Day or Mother's Day weekend,
Okay.
and so that's coming up next month, and I'm really excited because it's year 7, and I had to step back when I started practicing
Uh-huh.
with my house ball practice. I had to step back from that planning team, which I was super sad about, and it took me a long time to come to that decision. Like I knew I needed to,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to. So, yeah.
Yeah. Life moves on. You run
Hmm.
out of time for things. But seriously, like
Yeah.
sometime if you guys have a chance, I think we could all go out and do some disc golfing. I think that'd be a blast. That'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
That's awesome. There are
Uh,
tons of courses here.
are there really?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
oh really? Well, that's something I'll have to learn because I don't even know where any of them are at. So cool. That's really exciting. So let's see. So you said so I'm pretty new to the mountain bike scene, and I actually don't. Because I'm mainly road and gravel. So like I do the gravel trails groups and stuff like that. So I do the Rock Island Trail, Little Blue Trace Trail group, and I do quite a bit of road riding. I actually don't do as much mountain bike riding, so I'm actually not as experienced. Or I don't even know as much about the trails in the area. I know about. So you mentioned Swope, and then you guys mentioned Little Blue Trace. Is there anywhere else that y'all like to ride in Kansas City other than just kind of the gravel trails and then Swope Park mountain bikes? Is that where you mainly go?
Well, yeah, as far as I know, those are the only 2 gravel trails right here in the
Yeah,
metro. I mean, we've gone a couple of different places before,
yeah,
but there's a lot of mountain bike areas, as far as I can tell. A lot of it is shared, multi-use trail.
right.
So sometimes when they will go out to mountain bike, I'll go along and I'll just hike because I just don't feel confident
Yeah.
in doing that. So
Some of those spaces, I mean, like some of the mountain bike spaces are really good for hiking because
yeah.
they're usually up down. There's a lot of elevation change and stuff like that. So I mean, the stuff that's usually good for mountain biking is also usually pretty good for hiking too if you're looking for
Mhm.
something with some more challenges and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's cool. So along the lines of graveling, you mentioned you guys have done or you've done Peddlers Jamboree. Is that right? Have you been
We
involved with
haven't
that?
we haven't
You
yet.
haven't yet.
We are
Okay.
going. No, it's at the end of May, and it's actually right around our anniversary. So we're excited. That's our anniversary trip this year.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool. That's so cool.
yeah. I don't know.
Actually, you mentioned Peddlers Jamboree. So in Brett's
Oh,
book
it's
that you
right
and I were
there.
just talking about, he has a big section in here about Peddlers Jamboree that he talks about, which is what actually at first made me think of that when you mentioned Peddlers Jamboree. But he talks about all the different things going on at that event and stuff like that. That's really cool. So what do you
Yeah,
guys? Go ahead.
we're pretty excited about going. It starts in Columbia, which is where we're both from. So we'll head down there and drop the kids off at Matt's parents' house, and then the ride is 31 miles, I
Hmm.
think, out of Columbia and then along the Missouri River, and then it ends up in Boonville. And
Yeah.
then it's camping. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a flashback to our younger days because it's like this big sort of camping festival with music all along the trail and all these stops and things. So other than the fact that I used to be totally fine camping on the ground, and now I like to have a cot, and I'm almost to the point of being ready for a camper.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. That ride from Columbia to Boonville to Rocheport is the longest consecutive miles that I've done in the past. So, so this I take that back. We rode also once. That was my first long ride. Okay. Last year we took a trip from Columbia and rode out to a little past Jeff City. Mm-hmm. So that one was supposed to be 60, and then we didn't quite make it because the weather ended up being crummy and cold, and it just ended up not being fun.
That's a good ride. I mean, 60 miles that's a long haul, especially on gravel, because you don't think about how gravel actually makes the miles a little bit harder, because you got a little bit more drag. There's a little bit more, work and vibration in your bike that you have to deal with. So 60 miles on gravel is a pretty good. That's a good haul. It's a long ways.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like there are a lot of stops. They have stops for bands set up every 6 or 10 miles, something like that. So you can stop frequently enough to totally get any rest you need in, and snacks, and which are provided. So
that's cool. Yeah, that sounds like a blast. I'd like to go do that some year. I make it this year, but maybe next year I'll try to get out there. Sounds really cool. So,
yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys are getting a chance to do that. So along those lines, how do you guys approach long distance riding? So, when you plan for a trip like that, like how do you do that? How do you get your equipment together? How do you make a decision on like what you guys are going to take? How do you pack all your tents and stuff? And how do you go about it?
Well, I'll tell you, I leave it all to Matt because I have other things that my brain has to do. So. I mean, he when he gets into something, he really geeks out about it. So in the time that he's been biking, he'll watch YouTube videos and he'll read books about it. So he knows there's no point in me even spending mental energy to plan it. Other than saying, no, I would like you to buy me a mat to sleep on when we go to this camping trip. So, he tells me, we need to buy you this pannier. And I say, okay, let's do that. That's fine. So throw some snacks in. I mean, literally, I'm like, whatever he tells me to do, I figure that's the right thing. And it's been okay so far.
That's awesome. So see, this is the reason why we have to go do Frisbee golf, so that him and I can sit there and geek out about all the bike stuff, and you and Melissa can talk entrepreneur stuff, and we'll just have a blast. Perfect. Yeah. That's it right there.
Yep. I'm significantly more knowledgeable about disc golf than I am about bicycling.
I look forward to learning more about it because I know it has to do with Frisbees, and that's basically it.